In order to compete, corporations, both small and large, are continuously striving to stay ahead of the game. I'm Terry Bradshaw. From emerging technologies to healthcare developments to environmental solutions, join me as we take a closer look at the topics impacting today's global economy. Welcome to Business Day. Join me as we discover what some businesses are doing to thrive in today's global business environment. The need for crude oil is only ever increasing. But after nearly 2 centuries of drilling, many known reserves have begun to dry out, making the supply of so-called easy oil harder and harder to find. VME's expertise is in providing modular process systems for offshore production units known as floating production storage and offloading units, or FPSOs.
Now we use a technology called FPSO, which is a converted tanker that can process the oil, store the oil, and offload the oil onto shuttle tankers for transport to the refineries.
The company is equipping FPSOs to increase offshore production in some of the most challenging locations around the world. FPSOs are easier to install because they're not tied to the sea floor. They don't require miles of pipeline to carry the oil to shore. They can be disconnected and moved out of harm's way in the event of approaching hurricane or iceberg, and they are cost-effective for producing small oil fields in shallow waters where the investment would not usually be economically feasible. VME Process has been in business since 1985 and is a turnkey supplier of process systems to the oil and gas industry. The company engineers, designs, constructs, and delivers process systems for both onshore and offshore applications.
When crude oil comes up out of the ground, it's actually a mix of oil, natural gas, water, and sand. Process systems do the first job of separating these different components, removing the contaminants, and preparing the product for delivery to a refinery.
To separate fluids and impurities, process systems use the basic laws of physics, such as gravity, centrifugal force, pressure, momentum, temperature, and buoyancy. Process engineers apply these laws to optimize the systems so that they leave the smallest footprint possible on the top side of a ship or offshore platform. This includes designing a system that can account for the natural motion of the ocean, measured in pitch, roll, sway, heave, and yaw.
Companies like VME Process are an important part of the oil business, as they allow a parallel construction to the conversion of a tanker into an FPSO. VME will use a very efficient on-land process to fabricate the topside in large modules. This allows the work to be going on as we are working on the tanker. Otherwise, we would have to build those module components on board the ship, taking much longer. Therefore, we save time and money by using such facilities as VME Process.
Because the characteristics of crude vary from one well to another, VME custom designs each process system to separate out the most oil or natural gas possible. In the first phase of production, engineers use computational fluid dynamics computer modeling to design the system. The second phase involves procurement, where specialized buyers purchase equipment and materials needed to build a process system from around the globe. Finally, hundreds of construction workers begin building a module that will eventually stand at 2 to 3 stories, weighing as much as 2,000 tons. To prepare for the future of oil exploration, VME is currently applying their experience to other cutting-edge technologies such as floating liquefied natural gas vessels and subsea process systems. Similar to the systems used to recover oil on board an FPSO, floating liquefied natural gas vessels use process systems to purify natural gas.
Process systems will not only be used for separation, but will also be used in the future on board FPSOs for containment and emergency response for oil spills and disasters.